If you're a foodie traveler like me, put San Sebastián, Spain on your list. Here's why. First of all, it's known for having a lot of Michelin-star restaurants, including 3 out of the 10 restaurants in Spain that have 3 Michelin stars. Those are located in San Sebastián, okay? Now, just for everyday dining, we have to talk about how unique the Basque region of Spain is, because San Sebastián is in the Basque country. And the Basque name for the city is Donostia. What we know in this region, what's different about it, first of all, the weather is rainier than other areas of Spain. There are mountains, there's coastline, there's a lot of access to seafood, and that's a big part of the cuisine. In San Sebastián in particular, it's just a very beautiful city with a famous beach called La Concha or like Seashell. There's other beaches there as well. It has a beautiful old town and is lovely for walking around, but also for eating and drinking. And I'm gonna share in this video some dishes that I recommend, some drinks that I recommend, and desserts. So get ready, get your list out, make a list with me so that you can plan your trip to San Sebastián. And on a personal note, before I dive into all this delicious eating and drinking, San Sebastián is personally meaningful for me because my family has Basque roots on one side, and so I have a personal connection that some relatives of mine are from there. And I want to mention as well that Basque people are very proud of their culture, including their language, euskera, or the Basque language. And it has confounded linguists and people who study languages because it cannot be determined where exactly this language came from. It is super unique. It uses a lot of X's you see in names while you're there. And I think it's really cool how the Basque people have protected their language and their culture. If you walk around in San Sebastián, you'll often see people using berets, and that is very emblematic of the Basque culture as well. The first dish that I recommend is hongos a la plancha, or grilled mushrooms. And what's special about this dish is that in the Basque way, there's an egg yolk that's served in the center of the grilled mushrooms, and the dish comes to you with a plate of the mushrooms and the egg yolk there. Then you mix it up. So you get to see how it changes. Sometimes the server does it for you if you're at a very nice place like Gambara, which I do recommend, and it is a Michelin-star restaurant. That is their signature dish, and it's worth it. I've had it in multiple places, but I really think Gambara does it the best. When we ate on the downstairs level, which is not the pintxos or small place area, but you make a reservation and you're on the downstairs level, the server did the yolk in like an artistic, beautiful way that I had never seen done before. Changes the flavor of the mushrooms in a subtle way. Such a treat for the senses. So that is a dish that I highly recommend. The second dish that you should try is bacalao al pil pil. Okay, now bacalao is the Spanish word for cod. This dish is based on salt cod, which does not come from Spain, but has been used in Spanish and Portuguese cuisine for years and years and years. It comes from further north. And so people have developed all these dishes with the salted cod. Now, this dish is seasoned with garlic, oil, and chili peppers. The way that the dish is cooked is that the bacalao is like the pan is moved in a circular way with a lot of patience, because the gelatin from the fish starts to come out and mix with the oil and creates this really special, unique sauce that it's kind of like thick, like an aioli, in terms of the texture is like a thick texture, and it's an emulsion. Really delicious. I love that it comes out from the fish and combines with the oil. It's very natural. I loved it. And as someone who doesn't eat meat, I am always looking for seafood dishes or vegetarian dishes that are really unique and tantalizing. So this is definitely one of them. Also at Gambara, I recommend having their fried shrimp and fried asparagus dish. It includes both, and it has a dipping sauce. And anything fried is good. So there's a certain level of good when you're eating a fried dish, but I think this is just one level above. Like, it was noteworthy. It was above other fried things that I've had. So tasty. Both aspects of the dish, the shrimp and the asparagus. So highly recommend that one. Now, asparagus is very common in Spain, so I wasn't surprised that there would be a good asparagus dish. But also an amazing vegetable to try is the artichoke. When you go eating in San Sebastián, you're gonna see the artichoke prepared in different ways. Sometimes it's fried and cut up like in a salad, or sometimes it's grilled, sauteed, but have yourself an artichoke dish. My favorite artichoke dish was a sauteed one that I had at Gambara, but I also had it fried in other preparations and it was delicious. The artichoke is really high quality, and when it's seasoned well, it absorbs that seasoning. That is so delicious. What I liked about the dish at Gambara is because a lot of times when you have artichoke, there's a piece that does not fully get soft. There's issues with cooking it and getting that texture all the way soft, and it was just like a perfect texture. Not too soft, not firm anywhere, but not soggy. Yeah, not soggy at all. It was like a perfect point of cook. Another beautiful traditional fish dish that I recommend you try is called merluza en salsa verde. Merluza is the hake fish, which is a really light white fish. And in this dish, it's cooked in a sauce with parsley, white wine, oil, and garlic. So it's a really nice light sauce. I actually also had it in this dish with shrimp, hard-boiled egg, and clams. And all of that was in the sauce along with the filet. So delicious, so flavorful. I love fish sauces with white wine. It felt super high-end, the dish. And when I was done eating all the elements, it was so fun to come in with some crusty bread and soak up all the sauce. So if you eat fish and seafood, look out for merluza en salsa verde. Another dish that I recommend from the seafood perspective is to have scallops. The scallops that I had at the specific restaurant, Icharropena 1910, which we will tag in the description, were so good. They were served in the shell with a creamy kind of sauce and also another sauce drizzled on top. I could not find the name of the dish, but if you go there and you ask them for the scallops or the vieiras, I think it's the Spanish word, then you can see and try their version of it. Super delicious and very unique because the combination of flavors was so interesting. The last thing that I recommend is having pintxos. And if you haven't heard of pintxos before, they are the best version of tapas. They are small bites, and a lot of times they're on a stick, but they're also can be on a little piece of bread or a little fried ball of something or croquette, and those are all pintxos. When you go to different places in San Sebastián or Donostia, you will see usually a bar with lots of little bites behind the glass, and you can just point and try, or you can order off a menu as well. But the pintxos are the culture there. Going and trying different pintxos at different places is super fun. Now we're gonna move on to the drinks, okay? I love this wine in the Basque Country that is white. It is called Chacolina. It is a white wine that is served from very high from the glass, and that creates more aeration, which gives it a little bit of a bubbly sensation. It's not a champagne, it's not a bubbly out of the bottle, but that aeration and the way they pour it generates this lovely bubbly texture. I like white wine. I like a lighter kind of drinks, perfect for daytime, perfect for pairing with fish. And I have really enjoyed the minerality that comes out in the chocolinas that I've had. I've had a bunch and they've all been good. Do yourself a favor, try the chocolina, enjoy the spectacle of the serving, and you'll enjoy the drink as well. The other thing to try in San Sebastián is cider. Cider is a big part of the Basque culture, and there are even cider houses or sidrerías in Spanish, where you can have the cider right out of the barrel. It's super fun. You bring your cup there, you shoot some cider into it, and you can try different flavors or different types of cider in the cider houses because they're making different kinds of it. And that's just really fun. It makes for an adventure that's unforgettable, not just to order things off of the menu and sit at a table. The cider houses are really fun, and you get to kind of participate in local culture if you go to one that's more local. Now let's move on to the dessert. Yes. We have to have some dessert sometimes. The most famous dessert, I believe, is the Basque cheesecake. And there is one place called La Viña in San Sebastián that is credited with inventing the Basque cheesecake. What is different about the Basque cheesecake? The main difference is the burnt top. There is also not really like a strong crust on it, but don't quote me on that. But I know the burnt top is one of the parts of it. I have been to San Sebastián many times and I've had a lot of Basque cheesecakes. I really love the flavor. It's not super sweet, it's not overwhelming. The texture of the top is delicious in the mouth, it's interesting to chew and eat, so highly recommend the Basque cheesecake. The other thing that I recommend that you can actually get in all of Spain, but I just had some really good ones in San Sebastián, is a dessert called torrijas. And torrijas is like a French toast, but it's done in a different way. It's more of a dessert style dish. It's sweeter. It's very, very soaked. Almost like if you were preparing bread for a bread pudding, that level of soaked up bread is what's in the dish. And it can be made with different types of bread. It can be made with brioche. It can be made with more of a like standard Spanish type of bread. And a lot of times it's served with an accompanying ice cream, which can be sometimes with creative and interesting flavors. So ask your server if the torrijas are recommended at the places that you go to, and I think you'll have a wonderful experience. So those are the dishes that I recommend having in the Basque Country, and specifically in San Sebastián. Have you already been to San Sebastián? Is it on your list? Do you have any questions about these dishes? You'll notice that I didn't include any meat recommendations because I don't personally eat meat, but my family and my partner have always commented to me that the meat is also very good in San Sebastián. Happy eating! Let me know if you want to know about any other destinations with eating. Eating is one of my favorite things to do when I travel. It's always accessible for me as a deafblind person. And I love that it's something that everyone can enjoy, hopefully. All right, see you in my next video. If you want to see more videos on inclusive and accessible travel, subscribe to BlindishLatina and let me know all your questions in the comments, and I will see you next time.